You're welcome back, guys. In this particular video, I'm going to show you a very detailed way on how to line your skirt or any down part of your ankara fabric. So whenever you're sewing it or you're finding it difficult, I've taken my time to explain in this video how you can sew it to come out very nice. Do well to stick with me to the end of the First of all, guys, your lining needs to be shorter than the fabric. So whatever allowance you added to the hem of your fabric, let's assume you added 2-inch allowance as the joining. That is what you're going to take out to cut the lining. So that is the space you saw in mine. Mine, I did not take out the exact 2-inch I used. I took out 1 inch. So at the end, you will see that you have a remaining on top. But if you take out the exact amount that you added as your hem, okay, let's say you added 2-inch allowance on the down part or 1 inch, that is where you're going to take out to cut the lining. So after you cut out the lining, as you can see, I make sure that I place this on slow motion so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to remove these pins now. Then the next thing I'm going to do, this is the front side. Take note, this is the front of my skirt. This is the front. So now the place you see the chalk line is the back of the fabric. So pay close attention as I go ahead now to remove every pin that I used to pin it while cutting it out. I hope this is not too slow for you guys. I just had to do it this way so that you can take your time and understand the turning of this. In case you want to make a skirt, ankara skirt for you, for yourself, and you'll be finding it difficult to turn your lining, or you don't know how to go about the turning of lining from the down part, how to cut it. So both for dress. So remember, the fabric side is on the back, while the lining does not have front or back. So I'm opening the fabric to the front, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'll place my lining on top of this. This fabric is now facing the front side. So I'm placing my lining on top of this. Like I said, the lining does not have front or back. So you can choose whichever angle you want. Unless you join your lining, it has a joining. That is where you have to now determine where is the front and where is the back. But as long as it doesn't have a joining, just choose any part and place. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pin this down first of all, because I'm going to sew in by 1/2 inch. Now let's assume you have already added you removed 2 inch from your fabric while cutting the lining. Like you removed 2 inch from the lining. Let's assume you removed 2 inch. That means we are going to use 1/2 inch and stitch this like this straight as you see me point, and then I'm going to fold it in by 1.5. So automatically you will realize that you have consumed that 2-inch allowance, because if you don't do that, your clothes might end up coming out longer than the length you want. Okay, and then at the end of the day, after turning the lining, it will come out nice. It will not have too much excess lining wasting or lying here and there. So but for mine, I did not cut out the exact 2-inch that I left for my same allowance, the hemming allowance. So I just did, I think it's 1.5 I did, or 1 inch. So you realize that after cutting this lining to remain, but please take note, it's better for the lining to be excess than for it to end up being too small that is not meeting up at the end. So just take note and follow my directions and you'll come out nice. So you see the way I've turned this now, the parts I've sewed, all the parts you see me paying is the part I'm sewing. I've sewed, let's assume I've already done my sewing. So you can see how I'll fold it. I'll fold that part that I've sewed into under the lining. I'll fold it on the side of the lining. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Right now I'm folding it towards the fabric, but when you want to top stitch, you have to fold it towards the side of the lining. I'm referring to the stitched part, that is the 1/2 inch you stitched. So after now, I hope you understand exactly what happened here. So after you've done that, just go ahead and top stitch it on top. So you can see now the way the fabric is placed. You realize that the seam part is now facing the lining. You top stitch on top. You can top stitch by 2/8 or 1/8. Okay, however you want your top stitch to be, you can go as tiny as top stitch it to come out nicely, and then go ahead and fold it. So the next thing I'm doing is to go ahead and take out my remaining 1.5 I want to take out here. So this is still the front of my fabric, and I'm turning my lining like this. Please take note, everything I'm directing you, that way you see me pinning it is exactly what I did when I took it to the machine. That is why I have to place this on slow so that you can be able to understand it very well. So now I've been able to turn this like this. Can you see? This is the part I've sewed. That place you see the pin at the part I've sewed, that is the 1/2 inch I sewed from the beginning, and I've already done my top stitch. So don't mind anything. All you have to do is just go ahead and fold it in. At this particular juncture, you can decide you can now decide on how you want to fold yours. Okay, if you want to just take in 1 inch allowance there, so that when you finish sewing your clothes, the down part will have the material showing inside and not the lining. So from that point of the stitch, which is where you see that pin, that is where I'm taking this measurement. So I'm taking 1.5. It's not exactly 1.5, it's almost like 1 to 8. So that is what I'm taking out, and I'm going to pin it down. So while doing this, make sure to, when you finish pinning, make sure to measure your skirt. Take your tape roll and place it on your skirt before you sew. Like, place it from the hem to the top before you sew, to be very sure that you are still maintaining the length you want. Okay, because sometimes if you don't do it well, you might end up adding more inch to the length you want, or you might end up taking too much to the length you want. So but if you follow exactly what I'm doing now, you're definitely going to come out nice. So just go ahead and stitch it, taking it in by half inch. So guys, if you look at this, you will notice that my lining is still having some excess. It's still having excess. So let's assume that I didn't take out the 1.5 from the fabric. I didn't fold that 1.5 upwards that I did. Let's assume that what I folded was just 1/2 inch. You will notice that at the end of this, my fabric and the lining will meet each other perfectly, but I don't want it like that. So guys, this is the outcome after the final sewing. This is the back side, one piece of the back side. Remember, the back side comes with zip. So this is how it looks. So I'll stitch all the way upwards. So I have to be very cautious of my very cautious of my measurement, so that this is a straight skirt. I don't want it to be too long. So you can see I'm having some excess on my lining. I'm having some excess. So that's why you see. So most times, even you can go ahead to even take in more than what you have as your hem, at your hem line. So let's say at your hem you added 2 inch there. You can decide to take in 2.5 or 3 inch. It all depends on you. But most times, like I said, it's better that the lining is even longer, that you have to cut it. but then you will not want it to be too excess so that you don't look like you're wasting the lining. So you also want to be economical. So can you see the outcome? Can you see how lovely it is looking? It's so nice. It's so lovely, and I like the how this is the part I top stitch. This is the fabric I took in. That is the 1.5 I have. So with this now, I have a good measurement. I have a good length for my dress. I'm okay with it like this. So it's very good to always do this when you're sewing, so that you always work with your measurements and always make a nice lining. So guys, this is the outcome. Please don't forget to iron as you sew this. The ironing will make it look more presentable. So if you have you have watched this video to this length and you really enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so that you'll be amongst those that will get my next update. In my next video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a very lovely lace top that you can use to rock anywhere. Any clothes of yours, you can wear it to anywhere you really want to wear it to. Okay, as you can see on the screen, that is exactly how I'm going to be showing you how to make yours. So do well to hit the subscribe button so that you always see trendy updates from me for lovely styles, creative styles. And please check out my description box so that you see the link on how to sew the full skirt for this, how I drafted it. This is a pencil skirt, so you will see the link on how I drafted the cutting part of it. You will see the link, and equally how to go about the finishing work. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.